All right, we're going to try this again and see how it works. So, yes, we are back, we are back, we are back. So, first thing we're going to do is see what the overall energy of this week is. So, again, this is a general reading, and it is from this Monday to next Monday. And so, hopefully it will resonate. Okay? If everything doesn't resonate, pick what resonates for you, because again, it is a general reading. Okay? Right. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I get it. I get it. Let me turn this music off so YouTube don't be tripping and Facebook don't be tripping. Okay, so first card out of the deck for the overall reading, she makes a rash or a foolish wish. Now, that is super interesting for the energy of the week. So this is not going to be a continuation of last week's reading. Last week's energy was very heavy. This week feels much lighter to me, but definitely be on the lookout this week about or from a repetition from the past, somebody from the past resurfacing. It could be an ex or something like that. And so you want to just make sure you have all the information. You don't want to rush in because you don't want to make a rash or foolish decision. The moon, we're actually going towards the full moon as well. Things could be very cloudy. Things are not as they seem. And so you want to make sure that you're going into this week very clear, right? So maybe that's why, so maybe that's why I was guided to share the High John the Conqueror. I'm just looking at the root, and the sulfur, right, for protection. People use sulfur for all types of things. I purchased it so that I could use it for protection. Okay, so you want to, I'm not going to say be on guard, but I'm going to just say you want to be awake and you want to be aware. So if someone offers you something this week that feels like it is too good to be true, you want to just be careful, get all the information, and not just jump in head on. Right. And then the next card out of the deck is she gains a boon. So this is making the right decisions, entering into things the right way, and then you're receiving a gift, or as they say, a boon, right? And to me, what this is actually an energetic gift, an energetic lift. It's almost like a test, right? So we're doing all this work. For those of us that are doing work, you're taking your baths, you're praying, you're meditating, you're doing all the things that you feel like you need to be doing, right? And then somebody offers you this gift, and you might think, hey, is this a reward for all of my hard work? But maybe it's not. So you want to temper it, you want to be patient, you want to move slowly, and then you will be offered another gift, right? So it's like the first offer is not the offer, right? Like they say, don't marry the first person that asks you to marry them or something like that, right? So the first offer is not the offer. It's definitely like the second, more well thought out offer. And then here it is again, the third card, she's offered a dangerous gift. So lots of warnings in this message, right? Here's the first one saying actually she makes a rash decision or a foolish wish. So are we being in a place of ego? Are we wishing for things to fill up the spaces within us that we still feel are not good enough, that we feel are empty? Are we just rushing again to something that looks good because it looks good with us? Are we rushing back to that partner because, you know, we don't really want to be alone, or they look good on their arm, on our arm? Like, is it arm candy that we're wanting? Are we trying to keep up with the Joneses? Are we trying to, you know, be better than our brother or our sister, right? And so we're making these rash decisions or foolish wishes. And to me, again, I feel like these are wishes made from the ego, right? And then again, she is offered a dangerous gift. And then the last one is do what is necessary. So again, you know, this is what happens, right? When you rush into things, when you don't think about things, when you're acting from the ego, then you have to go back and start again. So it's very different than the message from a couple of weeks ago, which was like, you're actually doing the things and life gets in the way, so you have to start over. This is us having to start over because of decisions that we're making, rash decisions that we're making, right? And so even when we talk a lot about getting rid of things that no longer serve us, we might need to, at least for this week, really look at what that means, really feel that out again, and just really look at and feel out, is it an ego thing? Are we saying something no longer serves us, but really it's a rash decision because we don't want to do the work to maintain it? So rather than doing the work to maintain the relationship, we dip out, or we don't want to do the work on ourselves, so we check out mentally, physically, or emotionally. Or the changes that we want to make feel so big that we just make a foolish wish, like, oh, I wish I didn't have to, you know, I wish I didn't have any bills, or I wish I didn't have this house, right? We need to be really careful with our words, because then we can speak those things into existence, right? And while it may look like for a minute that it is a good thing, underneath it, it's actually something else. Underneath it, it's actually a dangerous gift. And then we have to go back and do what's necessary. So I definitely feel like this is going to be a week of repeats. I definitely feel like this is going to be a week of repeating cycles. We are in Aquarius season, and we don't have to do that, right? Aquarius is the visionary. So how could we vision a life where we're making decisions that are good for us, that are wise decisions and not rash decisions, decisions made out of anger or jealousy or fear or stagnation, right? I just want to get out of here now. I just want to move. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. This place is too small. I don't like these people. They don't like me. Let me just get out of here. And then the next thing you know, you're in another situation. Let me put my glasses on so I can read what it says and see who's here. My friends are here. I didn't have my glasses on. I didn't know who was here. My friends are here. Good evening. Good evening. All my friends who stay up late. Although I guess it's early for you all. Okay, so that's the overall energy, right? This is definitely going to be a week of either repeats. And again, this is a general reading. So everything may not apply. But this is definitely going to be a week of repeats. Yeah, right. No repeating cycles. And oh, look at the cat. I am right across from a church. It's so interesting. I was like, I want this room. And then I didn't even realize I was across from the church. So I'm literally like a black and white cat just walked in front of the church. I'm so happy. I'm like above the crossroads and like right across from the church in New Orleans. Life is good right now. Okay, so the next line that I'm going to pull from, since I've switched up the way I read a bit. So the first line was the overall reading. The second line is going to be love. So what is this even the right deck for? Yes, this is the right deck for love. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. What is going on? What is the energy of the week? I love these cards, and they are like super sticky still. I'll be glad when they get. There we go. That's interesting. I think I want 2 more cards for love. I want 2 more things for love. Oh, oh, oh. You gave me 4 and you fell on the floor. All right. Okay. By the way, we are in a beautiful bed and breakfast in New Orleans. The organization that brought us here put us in. Hello, boobs. You're welcome. The organization that brought us here put us in a beautiful condo. Okay, so let's see what's going on for love. All right. Transformación, leap, birthing a new age. Okay. And the first one is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know Jesus's grandmother's name was Anna, but we're gonna rock with it. Okay, so this is from one of my new decks, so I will have to read from the book eventually. So this says, seeing the light, laying foundations, divine plan. And it's sitting right under, she makes a rash decision or a foolish wish. So again, as I said in the beginning of the video, this is definitely a week of contemplation and really thinking about what we want, what we need, what we want, and what we need to attract, and ensuring that it's not from an ego space, but it is truly from a heart-centered space and a spirited space. And then here we have seeding the light, laying the foundations, divine plan. So this is super, super interesting since this is our love line. And so we are laying the foundation to have the kind of love that we want. And again, it's under the, they make a rash decision. So we are not jumping into relationships because we feel lonely or we feel scared or we feel like nobody is ever going to love us. That is not for those of us that are single or even those of us that are partnered up, right? We are not going into relationships because we're afraid of being alone. And we're not staying in relationships because we're afraid of being alone, right? We are laying new foundations and we are following our divine plan. Okay? That's what we on. That's the energy we on. All right? So let's see what this lovely book has to say. Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, page 88. So this deck is the Work Your Light deck. So I bought 2 new decks last week. One is the Starseed deck, and this is the Work Your Light deck. And it's absolutely beautiful. Okay. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundation for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. Interesting. One person's part is not worthier than the other. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan, right? And then there is an affirmation. And again, this is the card. It's so pretty, so beautiful. And it says, beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundation for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to part of the divine plan. So very, very interesting that this is the first card of the love line. So where do we need to surrender? What parts of ourselves do we need to surrender in order to experience the kind of love that we are desiring, whether it is self-love or whether it is interpersonal love, right? Where are we making rash decisions that then come back to bite us in the butt? Where are we cutting off communication? Where are we interrupting people before they can even finish their sentences? These are things that are going to come up this week for us to feel and release. The second card out of the deck was transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So for folks that are actually in relationships, another beautiful, gorgeous card. This is my first time pulling it. Very Egyptian vibe. We've got the Egyptian deity, I believe, is Bast. I'm going to just say it's Bast because it looks like Bast to me. And then she's got her scepter here with the moon, the crescent moon. And then it's so interesting over here. This looks like the DNA strand. And so I'm sure that's what that is, actually. The DNA strand. And so transformation. So you're actually changing from the inside out. What this means to me, especially since it's under she gains a boon, what this means to me is the relationships that you're entering into. Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe this is for folks that are just entering into a new relationship, or folks that might meet actually their divine partner. This is going to be a relationship that transforms you from the inside out. And we know that transforming from the inside out is a messy process. I am here to do spiritual work in New Orleans. I was cleaning all day today from 10 o'clock this morning till 5 o'clock in the evening, right? Sweeping things out, cleaning things out, throwing things out. And as I was doing that, I was thinking, gosh, what areas of your life are collecting dust? What parts of your life still need to be cleaned up, cleaned out, and taken out? Right? And so whatever is happening in your personal life, you are being transformed. You are being changed on a cellular level, and it is messy. It is not always cute. Love is not always cute. Remembering we're still under the energy of Pluto conjunct Saturn, Saturn the taskmaster, Pluto the planet of secrets, the ruler, one of the rulers of Scorpio, right? But you are transforming. You are transforming at a cellular level. And this can also mean that the transformation that you're undergoing, whether it's your eating habits or your dietary habits, or even what you're ingesting through the media, right? These things are transforming. Maybe it's no longer comfortable for you to listen to the news, or listen to the music you used to listen to, or be around the people you used to be around. You are transforming. And you cannot be afraid of your transformation. The relationships that you are in are a direct reflection of parts of yourself. You cannot hide from those parts of yourself. Whatever relationships you're in, you are being reflected back to you. What is your reflection showing you? Right? Deep healing is happening. So transformation. So what's very, very interesting about this deck is it's broken up into 5 different suits. So it's confirmation cards, inquiry cards, action cards, activation cards, and transmission cards. And so this transformation is an activation card. So what that means is, as I'm reading this information, as I'm showing you this card, parts of you are being activated. Parts of you are being awakened, right? There's no accident that you're on this video with me tonight. We are being transformed together. And whatever relationship you're calling into your life, if it's the same old, it's not cute. It's not the move, right? It's time for transformation. People that you call into your life now should be helping you to change. They should be helping you to change on a cellular level. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So, wow. The first sentence says things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within your cells. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in a fight, flight, freeze mode, to choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. As I was cleaning today, I was like, wow, trauma is really a bitch. Like, trauma is really not a game. Trauma is really something that, wow, it's just really something. It hides in the corners. It hides in our stomachs. It hides in our bellies. It hides in our throats. It hides in our third eye. It hides in the corners in the back of our brain. And we have to physically go in and root that trauma out, because, again, this is the love line. So how is trauma messing you up? How is trauma hidden? How are you using your relationships to hide the trauma? That might come up for you this week. Next sentence. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You're being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Interesting words. You're finding new ways to self-soothe. Are you healing your issues with love through food? Are you healing your trauma through sex? Right? Oh, wow. Interesting. Saturn. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents the destruction and transformation. I like to call Saturn the taskmaster. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. I just said trauma hides in the back of the brain. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. A re-threading is happening, healing at the deepest levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body. Wow. Perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime, or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. So some of you all might be activated. I don't really use the word triggered anymore. Some of you may be activated by relationships that you're in. You might be in relationships that remind you of your childhood, right? Those things are coming up. Those things are surfacing this week to be healed, right? I feel like I need to be healed from this heat, honey, because it is hot. Oh my goodness, it's so hot. I allow myself to receive the deepest healing and transformation for change, to be at a cellular level. The theme of this evening, the songs keep on moving from soul to soul. We're going to keep it moving, because time is always moving. We're always transforming. If we're not, we're stagnant, right? Again, love line, leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. So we're definitely being asked to do things differently this week. We're definitely being asked to trust in a new way, trust in a real way, and take real leaps. And again, maybe it's reacting to things differently. Maybe it's about thinking about love differently. Maybe it's about thinking about your partner differently, right? After this reading, right? Maybe it's really about looking at people as reflections and not just people that are kind of a pain in the butt, but looking at them as just divine beings, right? Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make a move. Or perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. Maybe you're being offered, and maybe this week you're being offered, or in the coming weeks you're going to be offered a gift of love, but maybe it's not coming in the package that you're used to having. Maybe the person isn't as aesthetically pleasing as you might like, right? You don't want to make a rash decision. and just cut the person off because they're not coming in the package that you think they should come in, okay? Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. Right? Now it's scary to let go of all that we know in hope for something new. There we go again with this rash decision, this being offered a dangerous gift. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is an unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you're being called to live. So that's that in the love, okay? And then the last card in that line is birthing a new age, right? So the first thing we're doing is we are looking at, we're sending light, we're looking at the foundation, we're looking at the foundation that we set. We are being open to transformation. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Sasha. And once that transformation, we allow that transformation to come in, then we take that leap. And then once we take that leap, we are birthing a new age. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. I mean, the images on this deck are just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely amazing. Okay, birthing a new age. That is an activation card. It felt like an activation card. Oh, thank you, Jesus. That heat turned off. Okay. Birthing a new age. Often our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their birth. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. You are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of time, preparing for this exact time, dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene, sisters, daughters of Isis, Essenes, priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers from time past. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning within to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being. So this week, I would offer that you begin to dream a new dream of what love could look like in your life. Because again, this is the love line. This is the reading for the love line. So we need to be transforming, leaping, and then dreaming a new possibility of love into existence. Maybe we're the first ones in our family to have the privilege to do that, right? To choose anew, to begin again, to have relationships, heart-centered relationships, right? So we want to take that opportunity. We want to grab that opportunity, okay? This is our money and career line. So what do folks need to know this week about money and career? What do folks need to know this week about money and career? To either get on the right path or to make money in the path they're already on. What do folks need to know or do? Okay. Sometimes I have to cut the deck when the deck is not falling out. What do folks need to do? What do folks need to do? What do folks need to do? Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm so super tired. What do folks need to do? Money and career, money and career, money and career. Let me get, thank you. Okay, 2 cards. Amazing. Huh. Okay, I dig it. more Oshun energy. So the first card that fell is Activated Earth, Power Places, Ley Lines, Trust Where You're Led. So this has Stonehenge. Again, mystical, 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 beauty, 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 activated earth. And so this is from the Work Your Light deck. I don't need that anymore. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is from the Starseed Oracle. My bad. Activated earth. Okay, so let's see. Page 32. All right. Money and career. Trust where you're led. So right off the bat, before even reading this and thinking about it's showing us Stonehenge. So many of us don't even know what Stonehenge is. We think we know what it is. We know that it is a portal. So some of you may actually be starseeds who are watching this video. At the very least, you are healers, and you may be being led into careers or making moves that really scare you. And so the guidance would be to go where you're led, not making a rash decision, not quitting your job tomorrow, but really beginning to be curious about what kind of life do I want to have? How do I want to spend my time? Time is the one thing that we actually own. And so we can't be giving our time away freely to jobs that are not, again, forcing us to transform, to careers that are keeping us stagnant, to workplaces that are toxic, right? We have to get on the good foot. We have to be in communion and community and working in heart-centered places and working from a heart-centered place. That is the energy of this week, is to really, again, look around and see, why are you where you are? Why are you in the career you're in? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you think this is the only way you can make money? Why do you think this is the only way you can make living? You really love to make soaps. Why are you working in XYZ corporate America? Why do you believe that you don't deserve to have the life that you want, the life that you dream about? The portal is open. You may not be able to see it now, but you have to leap in the same way that we saw in the love line, because things are becoming untenable. What you were once able to ignore, you can no longer ignore, right? And the thing about it is, if you don't leave on your own, you can be pushed out. And then you have to find yourself starting all over again and doing what is necessary, okay? Ley lines are invisible pathways on the land along which energy travels. They can be sensed when we tune into them with our subtle senses. Are you being called to travel to a sacred place that your soul remembers, or to tend the land that you live on, to honor and acknowledge the known and unknown keepers of nature spirits of that land? As you connect with Mother Earth and honor its keepers, the land opens up more fully to hold you. The fruits provide more nourishment, and the guardians watch over you, right? Many believe that as we visit such sacred points on earth, something is activated within us. Some also believe that by connecting with the land with devotion at these sacred places, something is activated within the planet too. So obviously we all have a part to play in this earth, planet, realm thing. And so it's really important that we're in the right places at the right time. The thing about Stonehenge, right? We know it's in the right place. We know it's in the right time, because at certain times of the year, things happen in this portal. Things become more visible. Things that were visible become more visible. Conversely, when you're in situations that you no longer fit in, that you no longer believe in, things that were once invisible become visible. And things could become visible as reactions in your body. You're unable to digest your food. You're unable to keep your food down. You have irritable bowel syndrome. You have rashes. You start to lose your voice, right? You start to break out in hives when you just think about your job, right? Leap and the universe will catch you. Okay. Next card. Oh my goodness. Surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy. Pleasure, joy. Make love to life. So very, 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 very beautiful. Very beautiful. So the instruction is to trust where you're led, and then the joy and the pleasure and the happiness and the sweetness follow. But we have to surrender. We have to surrender to the sweetness. We have to want the sweetness. You know, I find that sometimes people say they want the healing, but they don't. They like the idea of healing, you know, and they get around healers and they have a different personality. And because they feel like sometimes it's a performance, and we don't really want that healing, because healing can be messy. Healing is hard work. Healing requires surrendering. Sometimes we get so used to the bitter that the surrendering to sweetness is terrifying. We're used to the bitter. We have grown accustomed to it. We have a palate for bitterness, okay? And so sweetness makes us ill. And so we run away. We make rash decisions. We go back to the past. We go back to what is familiar, right? Because we think it's easier, okay? Many of us are so busy building our lives that we forget to enjoy them. We forget why we decided to build them in the first place. I said that earlier in the reading. Why are you here? Disconnection from the sweetness causes more pain than we realize. So many of us walk into soulless buildings 5 days a week in the name of survival. I mean, I don't even know what to say. We strive to build the life of our dreams, but drive ourselves to exhaustion. This card is wooing you. I'm wooing you. Come back to pleasure. The pleasures of being human, to focus on what really matters and enjoying your incredible life. So let me tell you what I did this morning. This morning I woke up super early, and I'm going to go to bed soon so I can wake up early again. And the sun was shining. It was beautiful. It's New Orleans. I was like, I'm going outside. So I got up and I was walking around this beautiful neighborhood, looking at the architecture. And then I just started twirling in the street. I was just twirling in the middle of the street, singing Solange, listening to Solange while people were on their way to work. It's like 7:45. And for a minute, I was like, is this your life? Like, are you twirling in the middle of the street in New Orleans right now? Like, is this what we're doing? Is this? And for a second, I got a little nervous, right? Because, I mean, has not been my life, right? I'm like a worker bee. But this idea of like time and allowing yourself to just be free and to just breathe and to just have a glorious life, we deserve that, right? So what things do you need to shift so that you can have that sweetness, so you can surrender to that sweetness, so that you can, maybe it's not twirling in New Orleans, but maybe it's just twirling wherever you are. Maybe it's twirling in your front yard, right? Twerking in your front yard. So yeah, that's it. Just allow yourself that freedom. And then the last card out of the deck, and the last card for the evening, is birthing a new age. So that's what we're here to do. Make no mistake, that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to turn this shit upside down. We're here to keep on moving things forward. We're here to pick up where our ancestors left off and keep things moving, right? Maybe in a different direction. Again, maybe you're the first person in your family to like be listening to tarot or doing tarot or whatever it is you're doing, right? Maybe you're like the first semi-free person in your generation, in your family. right? So we are here to birth a new age. So this says dreaming a new world into being. So it's very interesting how the love line and the money line are so close, and really the first line too. So last card of the deck, and we are, oh, it's surrender, 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 surrender to, it's not surrender to sweetness, it's birthing a new age. Oh. Ah, got it. Work your light. Birthing a new age. So is this a, oh, this is an action card. 92. This is the last card of the night. Often our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning to be whole. We are birthing a new world into being. I read that already. I read that. I read that. That's the love line. Oh, it was just 2 cards for, oh, I got it. I got it. That's right. It was just 2 cards for the relationship. I mean, for the money. That's right. That's right. Okay. Activated earth and surrendering to sweetness. Great, 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 great. Excellent. Okay. Perfect. So that is it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. So this week is really just all about moving slowly, moving with purpose, right? We're under this energy of Saturn. So we want to go into the corners. We want to look at what's hiding, right? We want to be doing that. We want to be about the business of doing that. So by the time we get to the new moon, we could do a cute little releasing ritual, right? So we could take this time, we could take this week as a fact-finding mission, as an excavation mission of the things that are lingering that need to be released. And then by the time we get to that full moon, we can burn them and continue to move on. So that's it. That's all I got. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. De nada, de nada, de nada. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye. And of course, if you want a reading from me, just inbox me. Okay? See ya.